It still feels wrong to call it the day of the fire. Like naming it makes it official, like it wasn't already carved into my bones. But that's what it was. A hot July afternoon in rural Tennessee, cicadas screaming, the kind of heat where sweat comes before you even pick up a tool. I had been patching the back porch, hammer in hand, when the smell reached me, sharp, chemical, not the ordinary tang of summer barbecue. Rachel was inside folding laundry. Our daughter, Lily, was upstairs coloring, her headphones in. I turned and saw it. Smoke crawling from the kitchen window, gray fingers that didn't belong. My body moved before thought. Hammer dropped, feet pounding across the yard, through the back door into air already thick. The kitchen was orange. Not a glow, not a flicker. Flames eating the curtains, climbing cabinets. For one dumb second I thought about the insurance, the mortgage, all the things tied to this house. Then Lily screamed. That sound stripped everything away. I ran up the stairs 2 at a time, coughing, eyes burning. She was on her bed, frozen, crayon in hand, the headphones still blaring some pop song while the world around her was turning to ash. I grabbed her, yanked the headphones off, shouted, "Hold on to me." She clutched my neck so tight her nails dug into skin. Rachel met us at the landing, eyes wide, clutching the laundry basket like it was armor. I shoved her toward the door, yelled, "Out!" The smoke was already rolling ceiling to floor, the house groaning like a dying animal. We stumbled onto the lawn, gasping, our clothes singed, our faces streaked with soot. Lily sobbed into Rachel's chest. I turned back, still stupid enough to think I could fight it with a garden hose. The flames laughed at me, roaring through the roofline, sending sparks into the sky. By the time the fire trucks came, the house was gone. Neighbors gathered on the sidewalk, offering water bottles, useless words. I stood barefoot on the grass, watching the only place I'd ever truly felt settled collapse into embers. Rachel kept repeating, "We're safe, we're safe." Like if she said it enough it would make up for everything else. But safety felt like a poor trade for the sight of Lily's toys, Rachel's books, my father's guitar, all turned into black fragments. The fire chief clapped a hand on my shoulder. "Could have been worse," he said. "You got your family out. That's what matters." I nodded because nodding is easier than screaming. But inside, I knew something had burned beyond wood and walls. The next morning, I walked barefoot through the ruins like a trespasser. The house was still smoking, beams groaning under their own weight. Every step was a crunch of memories turned brittle. The kitchen where Rachel taught Lily how to crack eggs was now a skeletal frame. The living room where we'd hosted Christmas, black and hollow. I bent down and picked up what used to be Lily's stuffed rabbit. Its fur was gone, just charred fabric. One button I melted into a lump. She'd had it since birth. I couldn't bring myself to show her what was left. The Red Cross sent volunteers with clipboards and pamphlets. They gave us a hotel voucher, a couple of gift cards, a packet labeled Disaster Recovery Guide. The title felt insulting, like there's a manual for watching your life collapse. Insurance adjusters came with cameras, clicking photos, asking questions about wiring and appliances. I wanted to scream at them. It was a home, not a claim number. But I bit my tongue because we needed their check to start over. Rachel tried to stay strong for Lily. She smiled, said things like, "We'll get new toys," or, "We'll paint your new room any color you want." But at night, when Lily finally slept between us in the stiff hotel bed, Rachel turned to the wall and shook silently. I kept busy. Busy feels like survival. I called contractors, visited salvage yards, begged the insurance company to speed things up. But at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling tiles of the Motel 6, the truth crept in. We weren't just rebuilding a house. We were rebuilding ourselves, and I wasn't sure we had the lumber for that. Lily asked one night, "When do we go home?" I told her soon. She said, "But where's home if it's gone?" And I had no answer. That was the worst of it. Realizing my daughter understood loss before she understood long division. Months passed. We moved into Rachel's sister's basement, concrete floors, one tiny window. Lily called it the cave. We tried to make it cozy. Christmas lights strung along the pipes, rugs over the cold floor, but it was never home. Rachel and I began to splinter. She accused me of not being careful enough, of ignoring the flickering outlet in the kitchen. I snapped back that she always left candles burning. The fire became a third presence in our marriage, whispering blame into every silence. Money tightened. Insurance covered some, but not enough. Contractors quoted numbers that made me dizzy. I picked up double shifts at the factory, came home smelling like grease, collapsed onto the basement mattress without speaking. Lily drew pictures of our old house, bright crayon walls with flames licking the edges. When I asked why she drew fire, she shrugged and said, "Because it's part of it now." I started drinking. Not a lot, not at first. A beer to take the edge off. Then two. Then a bottle of whiskey tucked behind the toolbox. It numbed the guilt, dulled the questions. But Rachel noticed. One night she stood at the foot of the bed, arms crossed, and said, "I can't lose you too." Her voice broke through in a way nothing else had. I poured the whiskey down the drain the next morning, the smell clinging like shame. But sobriety didn't fix everything. The cracks stayed. Nights were heavy with silence. Lily stopped asking about home. She just said, "Can we stay here forever?" in a voice too tired for a child. One evening, Rachel turned to me and said, "We need more than a house. We need each other back." I didn't know if we could find that in the ashes. Took a year before we moved into a new place. Not a big house, not like the old one. A rental with peeling paint, squeaky floors, and a yard too small for Lily's swing set. But when we turned the key, Rachel whispered, "It's ours." And for the first time in months, hope didn't feel like a cruel joke. We painted Lily's room bright yellow. She stuck glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. I bought her a new stuffed rabbit. She hugged it once, then set it on the shelf. "It's not the same," she said. I told her, "No, but it's a start." Rachel and I went to counseling. At first, the sessions were just rehashing blame. But slowly, we remembered why we'd built a life together in the first place. We laughed again. Sometimes. Enough to feel like we might make it. I still dream of the fire, the roar, the heat, the way the walls groaned. In the dreams, sometimes I don't get Lily out. Sometimes Rachel doesn't make it down the stairs. I wake soaked in sweat, gasping, reaching for them in the dark. But when I see them breathing beside me, I remind myself, we survived. On the anniversary of the fire, we drove past the lot. It was empty, weeds growing where the porch had been. I parked and stood with Rachel and Lily holding their hands. "That's where we lived," I told Lily. She squeezed my hand and said, "That's where we started over." She was right. The fire destroyed more than wood and walls. It nearly destroyed us. But standing there with my family, I realized something the fire hadn't touched. The will to rebuild, even when rebuilding looks nothing like what came before.